Welcome back to Seasons to Taste and another episode of Spear to Table. So this trip was a little special as it was the first time I've ever really experienced diving in these kelp forests, and it's the deepest I've ever free dived before, about 35 feet. I'm still working on my dive form and my downtime, but it's always going to be a work in progress with every new dive that you experience. So with diving in any new area or diving to new depths, I always try to make sure I stay calm and don't push myself too hard until I'm more comfortable. There were one or two times I got caught up in the kelp, but I slowly untangled myself and kept my cool. A dive knife would be great in this kind of situation, so you can cut yourself free if the tangle ever got too bad. Whenever you're diving in a new area, and even just diving in general, you always want to go out with a buddy so that they can have your back, and at the very least it's always more fun to dive with friends. We ended up seeing a few cool sights like a seal, an otter, and even another diver who ended up catching and dispatching a wolf eel. As I mentioned before, because it was a new experience for me, I was really just trying to get calm and comfortable with my new surroundings. At first, I was consistently coming up empty. But eventually, I found my shot. So we got a couple of really good fish. These were personal bests for me, even though they might be small for kind of the more experienced spearos, but all the perch and rockfish were at least 13 to 15 inches. With our freezers currently empty, we decided to take the opportunity and use this trip to stock up. With our stringers full, we decided to pack it up and head on back to the kitchen. Hey everyone, so as you can see, we're already back in the kitchen and we've already filleted all the perch, so we're just getting started on the first rockfish. We actually did pretty well, so pretty excited on how it's going to turn out because we've actually have some big fish this time. But we're going to do a pretty simple dish. It's just going to be fish with a Romesco sauce paired along with a bunch of grilled vegetables. I'm going to show you three things. We're going to be cooking the fish in a sous vide style. We're going to be creating our own Romesco sauce using a blender, and then we're going to be simply broiling the vegetables. Just a small disclaimer before cooking. The recipe we're showing you today just works for us. So if you like or dislike certain ingredients, you can be sure to put less or more of it in, just depending on what you like.
I don't know if Alex said it before, but we're gonna put on zucchini scales on the fish on the top, so it kind of emulates fish scales. So we just have a mandolin here, and we're just gonna mandolin the zucchini so it becomes into small little circles. We have a bunch of scales here, and we're gonna actually quickly blanch them for 10 to 15 seconds, then put them in an ice cold water bath, and then they'll be all set to put on top of the fish. We have our zucchini slices all done, and we pat them down so they're a little bit drier, and now we're gonna cut the fish up into little circles. And I have a cookie cutter here, and I'm gonna use it to cut out the thickest part of the fish. Since this cookie cutter is not that sharp, I'm gonna also use a knife to assist. Now I have a circular piece of fish. Doing this mostly just for the presentation, but you definitely don't need to do this. You can also scale your fish just as is if you want. We have our 3 circle fishes, and we're gonna salt it, and then we're gonna put it on the zucchini scales. I have the first one done. I don't know if you can see. It looks like that. And I'm just gonna use a scissor and just cut off all the extra edges around it. Now we're gonna put our fish in these vacuum seal bags and we're gonna vacuum seal them and then put them in the sous vide. And we're gonna let this cook for 12 to 15 minutes.
Now we're ready to oven cook the vegetables, and we just have some stem of the broccolini. We have eggplant, and we also have yellow pepper. So if you're wondering why they're in these weird shapes right now, it's because we purposely cut them out in order to, I guess, like decorate our dish in like a Michelin style plating. So it's really simple, but we're just gonna drizzle with a light olive oil and then make sure that we season with a good amount of salt and some pepper. And we're just gonna pop it right into the oven. So with the veggies roasting in the oven, now we're ready to make the Romesco sauce. So the ingredients that we have here, some vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, I have the roasted red peppers. I'm just using a can just because we're lazy. Sun-dried tomatoes, almonds. These are raw almonds unsalted, and fresh parsley, as well as some cloves of garlic. And in here we have salt, smoked paprika, and a little bit of cayenne. So it's pretty easy. All you're gonna do is mix everything together, and then at the very end you're just gonna slowly add in your olive oil and keep blending until you reach your desired consistency. So without further ado, ooh, it smells good. It smells really good. So as you can see, it's pretty thick, so we're just gonna add in a little bit of olive oil at first. And you wanna do it slowly so that you don't go too far. Let's try to taste this. Ooh, has a little bit of heat. I think we reached a good consistency. The taste is actually really good as well, but if it's not up to par of what you want, don't be afraid to add a little more salt and pepper. After the veggies are done cooking, then we are ready to plate. Okay, so everything's all set. The next thing that we have to do is, of course, plating. So the first thing that we're gonna do when we plate is gonna layer down the sauce, which is kind of gonna be pretty much the base of it. So I'm just gonna take a spoonful of the Romesco sauce. So after the base is all set, we're just gonna add in our fish after plating the fish. And then next we have our roasted veggies. So we actually ended up picking peppers, eggplant, and broccolini for kind of a specific reason. The eggplant you typically can eat with Romesco, and you can see there's like a slight char on all of them. Grilled vegetables and fish typically go with this sauce. The peppers obviously go with the Romesco sauce since it's with red pepper, but it gave it that little nice color contrast of the yellow. And then finally we have the broccolini, which is a little color contrast between the red. It does go with the scales that we have on the fish, but it adds a little extra crunch as well.
Okay, you ready to eat?
Yes, I am. All right, let's try
All right, here. I'm gonna cut up one of these pieces of fish.
I'm not sure one of the veggies.
Okay. The fish is pretty good, and I think the Romesco sauce works with the zucchini. Didn't try any vegetables yet. What did you think?
I like that it does work, like the grilled vegetables with the sauce. Definitely goes well together.
I like that yellow pepper with the sauce too. It's really good. What do you think of the zucchini scales? Was it worth the effort?
You can't really taste it that much because it is so thin. But I think it does add a little extra. That's a little extra, like, kind of crunch texture.
Yeah, if you want to make this recipe, we'll put it in the description box below. But if you'd like to see us make anything else, also comment down below. But if not, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.